Hello students, welcome again. A very interesting chapter, Animal Kingdom, is here for you. I hope you enjoyed all the 3 chapters which I have given earlier. Now come to Animal Kingdom, the most important chapter of this unit. When you look around, you will observe different animals with different structures and forms. Over 1 million species of animals have been described till now. The need for classification becomes all the very important. The classification also helps in assigning a systematic position to newly described species. As I have already described you earlier, that biological classification is essential to know the name of a species, a name of a plant or an animal all over the world uniformly. Along with that biological classification, biological nomenclature, we need classification in order to understand that how many animals, how many plants do we have on earth. We can study them. So basis of classification is based on level of organization. Level of organization means though all members of Animalia are multicellular, all of them do exhibit the same pattern of organization of cell. For example, in sponge, the cells are arranged as loose cell aggregates, that is, they exhibit cellular level. Some division of labor occur among the cells. Now, coelentrates, the arrangement of cells is more complex up to the tissue level. So in all the phylums, we have level of organization. How do all the parts work all together, and they are associated to form functional systems, and each system concerned with a specific physiological function. This pattern is called organ system. Organ system can be of open type or of closed type. So this is the basis of classification, just to know that animal possesses what type of organ system. Next is symmetry. Animals can be categorized on the basis of their symmetry. Sponges are mostly asymmetrical. Sponges को आप किसी भी तरह से काटो तो वो सिमेट्री नहीं होगी. सिमेट्री मीन्स आप उसको काटिए लॉन्गिट्यूडनली और वर्टिकली तो एक तरफ का पोर्शन दूसरी तरफ से सिमिलर नहीं होगा. Any plane that passes through the center does not divide them into equal halves. As in the case of human being, if you cut in the middle, that is bilateral symmetrical. All the organs which are in left side will be there in right side also. This is called bilateral symmetry. Different type of symmetry is called radial symmetry. In this kind of symmetry mostly occurs in arthropods such as crab. Coelentrates, Ctenophora and echinoderms have the kind of body plan. Animals that like annelids, arthropods, etc., where the body can be divided into identical left and right halves in only one plane, exhibits bilateral symmetry. So as I told you earlier, that arthropods have, if it has 6 legs, 3 will be on the left side and 3 will be on right side. So just to classify animal kingdom, we have 2 bases of classification. Most importantly, level of organization. what type of organ system it has, and second is symmetry. Third is diploblastic or triploblastic organization. Animals in which the cells are arranged in two embryonic layers, external ectoderm and internal endoderm, they are called diploblastic. In between there is present mesoglia. Right? So diploblastic animals which has two layers, and triploblastic which has three layers in it. Fourth type of classification is coelom. Presence or absence of a cavity between the body wall and the gut wall is very important. The body cavity which is lined by mesoderm is called coelom. The one which has it, that is coelomates, which do not have acoelomates. But in between there are some animals possessing pseudo-coelomates. Means pseudo means jhuti. Actually it's not a coelom, but it has coelom in it. So there are such animals. Now next basis of classification is segmentation. In some animals, the body is externally and internally divided into segments with the serial repetition of at least some organs. For example, earthworm. Have you seen earthworm? केचुआ जिसको बोलते हैं. Body shows segmentation, and the phenomenon is known as metamerism. Next point is notochord. Notochord is mesodermally derived rod-like structure formed on the dorsal side during embryonic development in some animals. Animals with notochord are called chordates, and those animals which do not form the structure are called non-chordates. Non-chordates are Porifera and Coelenterata. So now we'll come to phylum Porifera. These were the points on the basis of which we can classify our whole animal kingdom. Now Porifera. Phylum Porifera includes multicellular animals which exhibit cellular level of organization and have characteristic flagellated choanocytes. And next is coelentrates. They have tentacles and bear cnidoblasts. They are mostly aquatic, sessile or free floating. The ctenophores are marine animals with comb plates. Now next is platyhelminthes. They have flat body and exhibit bilateral symmetry. Tapeworm. Platyhelminthes consists of tapeworm. The parasitic forms show distinctive suckers and hooks. Aschelminthes and pseudocoelomates and include parasites as well as non-parasitic roundworms. So after the classification we have so many phylums, and the first phylum is Porifera. Porifera consists of sponges. Coelentrates have hydras, and then platyhelminthes, it consists of tapeworms, and then aschelminthes, roundworms. Next is annelids. Annelids are metamerically segmented animals with the true coelom. Arthropods are the most abundant group of animals characterized by the presence of jointed appendages. Arthropods means which has jointed appendages. For example, cockroaches, jointed appendages, your housefly, mosquitoes, spider, scorpion, these all comes under arthropods. Arthro means jointed, pods means legs, jointed appendages. The next is mollusks. It has soft body surrounded by an external calcareous shell. Mollusks has uniopila, घोंघा सीपी जिसे बोलते हैं, उसके अंदर भी एनिमल होता है. तो when you go and study those animals, it comes under phylum Mollusca. The body is covered with external skeleton made by chitin. बहुत हार्ड शेल होती है जिसका शंख बनता है, that is phyla. और जो सीप निकलती है, that is यूनियो. उसके अंदर एनिमल, हैव यू सीन एवर? ये जो इसकी आउटर शेल होती है, it is made of chitin. The echinoderms possesses a spiny skin. For example, starfish. Starfish देखा है? में 5 appendages होते हैं and it just moves in water. Right? ऐसे लगता है जैसे कोई fish है, but it's not a fish. A very different phylum is Echinodermata. Their most distinctive feature is the presence of water vascular system. Water vascular system means उनका माउथ होता है बीच में, उससे पानी जाता है, उसी के थ्रू ऑक्सीजन जाती है, and they get energy through that. The hemichordates are small group of worm-like animals. They have cylindrical body with proboscis, collar and trunk. So before chordates we have hemichordates. Hemichordates, they are worm-like marine animals. The most important phylum Chordata. It includes animals which possess a notochord either throughout or during early embryonic life. Other common features observed in the chordates are dorsal, hollow nerve cord and paired pharyngeal gill slits. Pharyngeal gill slits are what? When we see fishes have gills for respiration. But in higher chordates, these gills converted into lungs. So the presence of hollow nerve cord and pharyngeal gill slits is also observed in chordates. Some of the vertebrates do not possess jaws, whereas most of them possess jaws. So कुछ vertebrates ऐसे होते हैं, Agnatha कहलाते हैं, जिनमें jaws होते हैं. Agnatha is represented by the class Cyclostomata. They are the most primitive chordates and are ectoparasites on fishes. So fishes comes under the phylum Pisces. Now after Pisces there are amphibians, reptiles, aves and mammals. They have 2 pairs of limbs and are thus grouped under Tetrapoda. Amphibians have adopted to live both on land and water. For example, frog lays eggs in water and it survives on land. So amphibians adopted both land and water. Next category is reptiles. Reptiles are characterized by the presence of dry and cornified skin. Reptiles example is crocodile, hard skin. They live in water. Limbs are absent in snakes. There are no limbs and snakes comes under reptile. रेंगने वाले जितने भी animals हैं, most of them comes under reptiles. Reptiles are characterized by the presence of dry and cornified skin. Fishes, amphibians and reptiles are poikilothermous, means cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Aves are warm-blooded animals with feathers on their bodies and forelimbs modified into wings for flying. Hind limbs are adapted for walking, swimming, perching or clasping. The unique feature of mammals are the presence of mammary glands and hairs on the skin. They commonly exhibit viviparity. Viviparity means they give birth to young ones. So mammals are the highest category under animal kingdom, and fishes, phylum Pisces, under which fishes are there, they are the lowest. So fishes means Pisces, amphibians, reptiles, aves, and then mammals. Like this, I have already completed this chapter. I'll give you all the details of your question answers. Here are one more thing regarding mammals. Heart is four-chambered. Mammals have four-chambered heart, and they give birth to young ones. Aves are also four-chambered. They are warm-blooded. Warm-blooded means, this term I have already taken right now. Warm-blooded are those animals, they are able to maintain a constant body temperature, and they respire through lungs. Fishes, amphibians, and reptiles are cold-blooded. They can't maintain their body temperature. But aves and mammals are warm-blooded animals. Just keep it in mind. That's it with this chapter today. I'll give you all the answers. You must have written all the answers which I have given for chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. Chapter 4 now I'll give, and after that this unit 1 is completed. These 4 chapters you have to write in your notebooks. I am giving you plenty of time. Now go through it. Whatever is the problem, you can write down on this classroom, right? So have a nice time. Play, sing, and study. Bye-bye. Thank you.